Welcome to our custom space.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Custom Carving and Epoxy UK, and I hope you're all doing well. And you can probably see this little frog on the left, which I've made. Interesting make with noodles, believe it or not, so we'll see how that turns out. But a few of you have been asking how I make my frog eyes, so I thought I would do a quick video showing you exactly that, how simple it is to make unique, realistic looking, amazing frog eyes. So that's what this video is all about. So you're going to need some UV resin for this, and you're also going to need this standard jewelry mold here. So it's pretty straightforward. All we're going to be doing is using the UV resin to create those eyes, and at the minute I'm just struggling to get some gloves on. Even though they're the right size, sometimes once you've taken them off they're hard to get back on, and it is the only pair I've used today. There we go. And you have got voiceover, Andy, this time, guys. So do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel as well before we get into it. It's the only way we grow. So looking forward to showing you all how to make unique frog eyes. So just going to be using this standard jewelry mold, and you want to make sure that you pick the right size eyes. And for me, it's these ones just underneath the squares that tend to work. So I've got a little silicone mold here that I'm going to be mixing the colours in. And as I say, it's these ones just here that are the best shape. Just under the little squares is the best way to do it. A lot of people try the smaller ones, but they don't fit, guys. So try the ones just under the square. I'm going to be using the Apex resin as well, UV resin, from Just For You online. Really good stuff that I'm happy with, and there's a discount code for you if you want to use it, which is ccuk for anything off their website, which is justforyouonlineuk.com. Now the first thing we're going to do is just half fill this cabochon molds, and I don't want to fill them all the way. It's a little bit fiddly, but I want them about halfway filled to create that sort of transparent doming eye-like look on them before we actually put the colours and things in. So all I'm doing is just half filling these with the UV resin. Now I'm just going to cure that with the UV torch. The great thing about these guys as well is you're not using an awful lot of resin, so a torch should be adequate to cure these. You don't need one of those big powerful lamps. I'll say I make these just with the torch, and yes, it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to do, but I think it adds an awful lot to your finished frog. Make sure you do both sides as well, just to make sure it's cured all the way through. And if you can see there, they're about half filled. And now for the next stage. And if you look at a frog's eyes, they tend to be slits most of the time. So almost sort of half closed. And I think it gives them that comical look. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops of UV resin in this silicone cup. And I'm going to use some black resin dye to tint it. Now it's really important when you use resin dyes as well not to put a lot in, because if you get it too dark it just won't cure, guys, and you'll get a real mess. So all I'm going to do here is get a toothpick, and rather than try and put a drop in, which never works, I'm just going to dip it in the end of the bottle, and whatever comes on the end of the stick is what I'll use to mix it. And that should be more than enough, that tiny little bit. So as you can see, I'm just mixing it in with the UV resin, trying to make sure there's still a little bit of transparency, wiping off the toothpick so that I'm not putting more in there. And again, just make sure it is thoroughly mixed. And if you haven't already, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Makes a big difference. If you sat there on your telly, do me a favor, log in and just subscribe. It's the only way that we can keep growing. At this point, I decided that it was still a little bit too dark, so I added another drop of UV resin before we continue, because I just wanted to make sure that it was transparent enough to cure under the UV light. So again, just mixing it round. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. Now the next bit's a little bit fiddly. So what you want to do is get a drop of this black UV resin and put it right in the center, and then pull up and then pull down, and that makes your slit in the eye. It's that simple, guys. So there we go, that's one eye done. Now I'm just doing the other eye exactly the same. And this is how simple it is, guys. So you don't have to buy those glass eyes. And don't get me wrong, in the frog mold, you don't need to put any eyes in. They still look cool. But if you do want to go that extra mile, I think it makes a huge difference. So I'm just going to cure these now, around about 20 seconds each side. Just to make sure that they are thoroughly cured. And if you've not got involved with Froggy Friday yet, get involved. All you need is a frog mold, or in fact you don't even need a frog mold. It doesn't even have to be resin. Anything frog craft related you can add to the Froggy Friday playlist so that we can all watch and learn together. And there's some amazing artists on there, guys, so get yourself on there, search for Froggy Friday, watch some of the videos, and it's amazing what we come out with. So that's stage one. The black slits are in. Now for stage two, I always like to have a little bit of white either side, and that's just because I think it adds a bit more of realism to the eyes. So again, exactly the same as we did with the black. I'm just putting a drop of UV resin onto this silicone mixing pot. And then I've just got some standard white mica powder here. And all I'm going to do is dip my toothpick in, whatever's left on the toothpick, try and mix it round. And again, you don't want your white too opaque either, guys, otherwise that won't cure either under the UV light. So just a tiny bit of mica is needed, and it just gives it, for me, an extra edge, an extra element of realism if you get a little bit of white either side of the black. And that's now mixed. So now I'm just trying to get it either side of the black. It doesn't matter if you go over the black, guys, at this point. As long as you've got a little bit of that white sticking out either side, it still should create the effect that we're looking for. So I'm just going to do that with both eyes. And then we're going to cure, and then that'll be step two of the eyes done. And don't worry, there's only one more step to go, guys. So as I say, it's pretty straightforward, and all it takes is a bit of creativity and a bit of time. Now, once you've done this bit with the white and the black, you let your mind go wherever it will go. You can go with mica powders, alcohol inks, whatever you want to do to finish them off. So I'm just going to cure this, again, 20 seconds, just to make sure that that white stays where we've put it. And there we go. So that is pretty much the white done, and the black. So we should now have a slit, I suppose, in the eye. I'm just going to do the underneath of these as well, but you can just see there, that has created that little slit in the center of the eye. And now for the last stage. One of the things I like, I've done these with mica powder, I've done them with alcohol inks, I've done them with all sorts, and I say you can do it with whatever you want, but one of the things I love to put in is I've got some holographic green laser glitter, which I think comes out really well with these eyes. So this is going to be the third and final layer of these eyes, and then they're going to be pretty much done, ready to go into the mold. So again, same thing, just going to put a few drops of UV resin into this silicone mixing pot. And then I'm going to add probably around about half a standard mica scoop of green laser glitter to it. And for me, I just like the sparkle. I think it gives a really natural sparkle to the eye. And again, it helps you focus on the eye. And when you've spent 5 or 10 minutes making the eyes, you want people to look at them. So there we go. This is that holographic green laser glitter. And as you can see, tiny bit going in, and then I'm just going to mix it round. So again, just getting the silicone tool and mixing it around, but look at those sparkles coming off it already. You can probably see why I like this in the eyes. And now that's mixed, I'm just going to put a couple of drops in each of these to pretty much fill up the molds, but don't worry if they're not full. With the eyes, these cabochons, they're a little bit bigger than the eye socket anyway on the frog, so you can actually get away with filling these about a third of the way, and that still works really well, and they fit into the frog mold really well. So now I'm just going to make sure that these are filled to where I want to, and then just give them a quick cure either side, and then these eyes will be done and we can demold. So again, I think probably about 30 seconds either side. If you've got a lamp and you want that extra safety to make sure it's cured, stick them under the lamp at this point as well, just to make sure they are cured all the way through. And again, let me know in comments what you think of this frog at the side. Hopefully you can just see the noodles sticking out. So he's going to be fun to demold tomorrow. And again, now I'm just going to do the other side as well to make sure that they are cured all the way through. And look at that glitter. Look at the way it's sparkling. And I do think the green laser glitter, it gives a real natural look to a frog eye. But again, let me know in comments what you think. And then we're going to demold these. But again, I've done these in blue, I've done them in white, I've done them in loads of different colours, guys. So have fun with it, experiment with it, and do whatever you want to do. They're your frog eyes, do them whichever way you want. So here we go, just going to demold these now. And then I'm going to try and get you a close-up. So here we go, and I hope you'll agree they look pretty cool. Just trying to get you a clearer focus on them, but to me they look really natural. They look like little frog eyes, and they're ready to go into a frog. So I hope you've liked it. If you have, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Welcome to our custom space where dreams take flight. A party visions coming to life. It's a perfect sight. We born together.